Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. This a wreck ain't baby.
Mr. Edelen is going to do a piece for us.
I changed my mind midstream.
Okay, that's okay with us. We don't mind.
This is Invictus by William Henley, who's another Brit. But what excites me about this is the power and the strength it gave to a hero of mine named Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison, and this was the poem that he said every day, almost as prayer, to get him through the difficult times. So forgive me if I don't have the rhetorical flourish, and I'm going to have a hard time communicating how powerful these words are. But I think what this demonstrates to me is the triumph of the human spirit over the human condition. And at the end of the day, I think that's what we're all about. Invictus. Out of the night that covers me, black is the pit from pole to pole. I think whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloodied but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Yes. That's deep. Real quick, if you don't mind, I'd like to just give an opportunity if anybody has a question. Does anybody have a question for Mr. Edelen?
Or a comment.
Or a comment. Does he have your vote?
Yes.
I have voted already.
I hope.
I hope he's working at the polls.
Oh, great.
You made a statement that you shouldn't vote for someone that you're not familiar with, but I voted for him not knowing exactly, so now I'm proud of the fact that I did vote for him.
Well, I appreciate that very much.
All right. Anybody else?
Anybody got
sure,
any
go
advice?
ahead, in the back.
I have a question for some of the younger people in here. What exactly is the role of an alderman?
Okay, I'm the person charged with conducting an audit every year of every state government agency in every county and most local governments. And my job is to make sure that those tax dollars that you send out of your wallet when they go to Frankfurt or go to Louisville or whatever place you live are being spent honestly and effectively. We lose too much money, folks, to inefficiency. We lose too much money to corruption. And for all of us who know what it's like to be in a family where we kind of struggle to make ends meet, you know that a state that's in the condition of ours just can't be throwing money away. The need is too great. And let me give you one example. Can I give you an example of what it looks like when we do it right? And I believe in values. I mean, I think ultimately this is what drives us. And I think we demonstrate our values by the way we act. And when I was the chief of staff to Governor Beshear and we went into office, there were 67,500 kids in Kentucky who were eligible for the Children's Health Insurance Program, who weren't enrolled in it because the other crowd didn't want to pay for it. Now think about that. Tens of thousands of kids, thousands here, who couldn't see the chalkboard because they didn't have access to high-quality eye care, may not be able to hear the teacher because they hadn't had their hearing screened properly. And because we streamlined that process and fought for little kids, today 60,000 of those kids have health insurance. Now that's the triumph of value. A sick kid isn't one you can teach.
Right.
And you either believe in investing in the next generation or you don't. I remember being in the budget meeting with the governor when our budget director came in and said, I know how badly you want to insure these kids, but we can't afford it. And I remember when the governor looked back and said, well, we can't afford not to insure these kids.
Right.
And that's why elections should be about values. It's why we ought to talk about what we value. And I value the future.
That's right. I agree.
I have a question.
Sure.
Could you comment on the strength of this Democratic ticket? It seems as if you all have a dream team.
I'm pretty excited. Now, of course, I'm biased. I'm right in the middle of it. We do have a good team. You've got the senior, more experienced leadership of Governor Beshear and Mayor Abramson. You've got Jack Conway, who's been a tireless advocate for the people. He's been around for a while. And then Todd Hollenbach, who's a known quantity from right here in Louisville. And then you got a couple of young folks. You've got Allison Lundergan Grimes and myself, who I think bring some energy and some passion to the ticket. And one thing I'll say for young people is that we have a low tolerance for, I think, injustice. We have frankly, we're not very patient. And I think and I will tell you this, I think a state with as many systemic problems as Kentucky has needs a little impatience in office. You know, we don't need to wait for 100 years to try to turn things around.
That's right.
The business of turning things around should start yesterday.
That's right.
And they'll tell you that Adem Edelen's impatient. They're absolutely right.
Somebody has to fight. Patience sometimes, but you can't. You have to fight. So. Well, I thank you again very much for your time. I would so love for you to stick around and enjoy some of the poetry, because you'll find yourself probably unbelievably moved. Because I know I am every single Thursday unbelievably moved by the talent that we get up here on the stage.
And have us back after the election. I don't like being one of these guys who comes to the West End only during campaign.
That's right. I'm with that. You can come back.
I don't believe in affairs, I believe in relationships. Have me around. Thanks.
That's good stuff. Thank you very much. Let's give Mr. Edelen another good round of applause.